Well, we're a long way from Dixon and Vining this morning. So good morning, everybody. Good morning, Birmingham. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. We're smack dab in between. It is Kip Kiefer filling in for the next couple of days. Kind of a little mini series, if you will. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll be in for Richard and Valerie. And I'm sitting here in a very familiar scene for me across the way behind the glass, the great Steve West producing the show. So the regular team does have one of their key components in place. Steve always does a great job. Steve, how are you this morning? How was your Christmas? Everything good on the holidays?
Yeah, kind of quiet. Didn't go anywhere really. Stuck around the area and saw some family that came into town. Otherwise, yeah, we were doing really good.
That's awesome. Well, every time I come in this time of year and fill in, I always marvel that Steve does this just about every single day during the year. And I have great admiration for all of you morning people that are already on the road this morning. I guess today is kind of a regular, I don't know, the whole situation of Wednesday, Thursday for the Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and now New Year's Eve, New Year's Day has got me really kind of discombobulated. I was out in Las Vegas visiting the grandkids and my son for Christmas. Had to come right back on Friday. Had a lot of things going on, but this midweek stuff is really got me kind of messed up. Of course, most folks are probably familiar with the fact that I spend most of my time here at Cumulus Broadcasting across the hall in the WJOX studio. We've got a lot of football programming, shows on Saturday and Sunday morning, and the games being on Wednesday and Thursday this week are really confounding to have the shows on the weekend and have no games really to talk about. But speaking of that, I'm in a very familiar pose today because sitting across from me is a man that is no stranger to the microphones and the airwaves, not only here in Birmingham, but nationally. One of the primary characters and major contributors to one of the most popular sports shows in the United States. And he's kind of spreading his wings and going a different direction today because, ladies and gentlemen, making his world news talk debut today, I've brought in to join me and get his perspective because in addition to being a football expert and a electrifying, some would say galvanizing personality on the Paul Feinbaum Show on the SEC Network and here locally on WJOX, I've come to know my good friend. I don't ever call him by his first name because he goes by a very familiar title. But he's not only a great sports expert, but he is a great American, has a lot of good opinions, and follows everything that goes on. So coming to the airwaves today on Talk 99.5 is my good friend, world-famous, well-renowned, some would say controversial, but we're joined by none other than the legend from the Paul Feinbaum. Well, listen to that hoopla. People are going, the fans go crazy. Legend, welcome to News Talk Radio here on 99.5.
Oh, thank you for them sound effects. I love that. It's such an honor to be with you, Kip. I love my country. I love talking politics, and I especially love hanging out with you and just absorbing the vast range of knowledge that you have on so many topics. And I know world news and politics is at the very top of your list. And just thanks for having me, man. Just love to be in America this morning. Love to be an American. Everybody ought to get up this morning and just thank God for how blessed we are to be in this great country.
Absolutely. God bless the USA, and we're privileged to come to you this morning. And I guess it's a regular work day, I guess, for some folks. It's kind of weird.
Not for me and Kip.
No, this is not a regular day for us. We're not usually lurking about at 6 a.m. We do haunt the airwaves here on the weekend, starting at 8 o'clock on Saturday morning, and then 9 o'clock with my great partner who in this very studio, very nostalgic for me, Legend, walking in here. I mentioned it to you a little bit, but for a couple of years, Terry Quillian, my partner who now lives in the Houston, Texas area, She and I did a great show here on Jocks 94.5, or not Jocks. I got to get my stations on Talk 99.5, not 94.5. If I do that, call me into corrective action here. Talk 99.5. We had a great show in the afternoons called The Ride Home after the great Leland Whaley show. And Terry and I had a couple of great years here in this studio. But I go back all the way, and this is just kind of astounding, and I have to just kind of add it in my head to even make it compute. But I made my debut in this studio the second week I ever came to Birmingham to be the marketing director of the new Birmingham Racecourse in the summer of 1992. The second person I met in Birmingham was going to lunch. Bonnie Ballard, our great advertising pal and
great man,
legendary guy with me and the legend here in Birmingham. Bonnie Ballard took me to lunch, introduced me to a fellow by the name of Herb Winches.
Oh, yeah.
And Herbie, of course, was the founder in this very studio of the original WJOX show, Sports Talk 690 on 690 AM Birmingham.
AM.
Yep, and he worked with the great Ben Cook. You and I are both huge baseball guys, and Ben Cook was probably the most ardent baseball enthusiast that you ever would meet. Ben loved Major League Baseball. Ben was real involved with all the folks out at Rickwood Field that have preserved that ancient stadium and made it a real shrine to the game. And I know Ben would have loved to have been here last year to see the Major League game played in Birmingham and Rickwood get completely renovated. And those guys, my good friend Joe DeLeonard, who I'm hoping is listening this morning, we see Joe sometimes down at Social Taco for our weekly little football meetings put on by the great Don, the unofficial mayor of Birmingham. But anyway, Joe and his group and Ben Cook, those guys were out there like on weekends painting and fixing things and kept Rickwood Field viable, and it got its moment in the sun last year, and hopefully that won't be the last time. But in this studio, I've got so many memories. I did a Saturday morning show for a lot of years. Coming in and sitting in this very seat was a Birmingham sports or a Birmingham radio legend, John Ed, and Doug Layton, who for years was the color commentator on Alabama football games.
Famous.
Yep, Doug and John Ed in the studio, and they had the damnedest show on a Saturday morning. It was supposed to be a sports show because this was, remember, the original Jock studio. And you'd come in, and John Ed and Doug had all these papers and files laid out in front of them. It looked like a lawyer's office because their entire show was basically doing live commercials for all of these different businesses that they had worked out deals with. Dry cleaners, liquor stores, I mean, you name it, they had a deal. Let me tell you about my good friends at so-and-so insurance. And about 80% of the show was them doing their barter kind of spots. But just a couple of great characters, and what an honor to come in every morning and follow these guys who were just broadcast giants in this market. Both of them, of course, in their 80s at that time, and we're still at it. So we're just getting started in our career.
Man, we're young, hey, we're young in this thing.
I'm telling you, but every time I come in here, it's a great experience, and I'm looking forward to the next 3 days with all of you out there. Our phone number, if you want to get in touch, is 205-545-9950. I've got to get my station right again. I want to say 94, but it's 9950. So give us a call if you want to get involved. Talk to the legend, which is a rare opportunity for early morning news talk listeners. And we're gonna be doing a lot of different things. Let's I don't want to get too heavy in this first hour because 6 to 7, everybody's kind of just getting started. But we're driving in today in Birmingham. I'd kind of like to hear from folks that, what would you like to see coming out of 2025 going into 2026? I think Birmingham's making some progress. The big news today, and not intending to talk a lot of sports today because we're going to focus on other things, particularly 2025 in review and a lot of other subject matter that we're going to get to. But today a big event in Birmingham, and I think a missed opportunity in my mind. First of all, if you are anybody in town who just happens to tune in or are driving in and catching our show, coming into town for the Birmingham Bowl today, which is down at, of course, Protective Stadium, not too far from here. It is going to be the Georgia Southern and Appalachian State game. So if you're coming to town, we're glad to have you. Welcome to Birmingham. I hope you have a great day here. We're not going to have the best weather day, but it's going to be a lot better than it is tomorrow, where it's going to be really, really chilly. But it's kind of interesting, and this is no reflection whatsoever on these two teams. I had a lot of friends growing up in Atlanta that went to Georgia Southern. It was a great school, and those, one of my really good friends, Kenny Godsey, went there, and a lot of other people. Kim Hoover, another lifelong friend of mine, she lives up in West Virginia now. She might be listening this morning. So a lot of great Georgia Southern folks. I didn't know a lot of App State people, but they're big rivals in their league. They just played a couple weeks ago. But the bowl situation is so hard to come up with teams right now that they are playing a rematch today in the Birmingham Bowl. And nothing against Georgia Southern or Appalachian State, but, you know, not exactly the marquee matchup that we would like for our bowl game in our city.
You know, I think a great idea for Birmingham, now that bowl games don't really care about your record, they will take a losing record. I think a great idea for Birmingham is that UAB would host the Birmingham Bowl every year if they don't win their conference. I think that would be a great idea that would draw interest down to the Birmingham Bowl. And also, I seen the Pop-Tart Bowl where they had the field looking like a Pop-Tart, you know, it had a
bunch of dancing Pop-Tart boxes running around there.
Yeah,
I think they showed more of that than the game.
Yeah, I thought that was great. I think the Birmingham Bowl needs to
have some kind of
maybe hire Kip and the Legend and come in and suggest some things to them. You know, they can make it more exciting than what it is
and more
with
fun.
A little thought.
It doesn't have to be. I mean, because you know, again, these two teams just played less than a month ago, and it was an exciting game. Georgia Southern won 25-23, but it just doesn't really have the juice as the marquee matchup. Now, I don't want to ruffle any feathers today. I know, and folks that aren't familiar with the Legend, is the ultimate Alabama fan. He is a Crimson guy through and through. We spent a lot of time on one Friday afternoon this year. We went down for an event with the Tide Pride folks, raising money for their NIL fund. We heard from Coach DeBoer and Coach Nate Oates, the basketball coach down at Alabama. Athletic Director Greg Byrne, who the man sitting across from me was a little hard on earlier in the year, and Legend walked up to him and introduced himself. But on the other side of the ledger are Auburn fans, and we hope to hear from our great friend Don today, who is kind of our spokesperson on the Auburn Nation. But I thought Auburn made a mistake. I know they had a new coach. They have a lot of players in transit, a lot of things going on. But Auburn was offered the opportunity, despite having a 5-7 record, to be here. And I think it was a great opportunity for Auburn to come and showcase their program in an essential part of the state here in Birmingham, and they turned it down. The new coach said, we can't get a team together in that space of time. He had about a month to do it. But I think I would have rounded up whoever I could get. I think it was a bad miscalculation for Auburn not to take this invitation.
Yeah, anytime you can represent in the state and get your name out there to all-state recruits, it's big. And I think that would have gave Auburn an opportunity that they couldn't get anywhere else. And I do agree with you. I think it was a mistake, a PR mistake on their part to pass up the opportunity to play in the Birmingham Bowl.
Well, we're almost up against our first break, but when we come back, I want to talk about Birmingham in this first hour before everybody wakes up and we make everybody mad. Because
Don't have the masses coming for us, Kip. Don't have the mob coming for us.
I know it. They'll be outside throwing rocks at the window. Of course, we're on the third floor, so I think we're okay here. You got to have a pretty good arm. But the bottom line is I'd like to see Birmingham progress. And Birmingham has a history of just kind of being satisfied right where they are. I have now lived more years of my life in Birmingham than anywhere else, which is kind of a astounding fact, having grown up and still identifying as being an Atlanta and a Georgia guy. But, I've spent a lot of time here and I've got a lot of thoughts on that. And we would love to hear your thoughts again at 205 545 9950. It's Kip Keefer and the legend from the Paul Feinbaum Show, Steve West producing. We're running the program this morning, giving Valerie and Richard a much-deserved couple of days off as they get geared up for a big 2026. We're going to certainly talk about the year that was in 2025 and start to change our focus to look ahead to this new year, which I think, Legend, is going to be a sensational year for the United States of America.
Yeah, I believe this is the year, that we've all dreamed of, where the eagle flies high again, brother. I just see it coming. I've always been a big President Trump fan. I know some folks ain't, but I've always been a big President Trump fan. He is a president of common sense. And I think some of the things that he has established will go forth into this year, and we will see America prosper like we have never seen before.
Yeah, it's all lining up, and we're going to be very optimistic and give you our view over the remaining time this morning. We're on till 10 o'clock, so a long time to get together. We're glad you're on board. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this short timeout. A Monday morning. It is Monday. We've just, Legend and I just confirmed. We have confirmed it is Monday morning. Again, the date's so messed up right now with Wednesday, Thursday holidays this season. I hope you had a fantastic Christmas. If you're just joining us, Valerie and Richard both off today. The great producer Steve West is running the program, so all is well as Kip Keefer sits in today in the big chair along with my broadcast cohort, good friend, and just all-around fantastic American legend from the Paul Feinbaum Show, making his news talk debut today. And Legend, we're just kind of trying to feel our way around here. It's a Monday morning, which usually means for most folks back to work, but I'm wondering how many people are still off. I mean, these holidays falling on Wednesday and Thursday really kind of mess everybody up.
Man, it's Monday, and I thought it was Wednesday, and last Wednesday I thought it was Monday.
Oh, man.
I mean, especially when you have Alabama playing on a Wednesday or a Thursday or a bowl game on a Wednesday or Thursday. It's totally got me confused. I won't even know when it's 2026 unless somebody tells me. I'm like lost in like time right now.
Yeah, well, Legend and I this time of year pretty much base our calendar and activities on football. On Wednesday night, just for folks that may not be aware, New Year's Eve, the first of the quarterfinal playoff games will happen as Ohio State meets Miami in the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. Then that's New Year's Eve. Right after that, we'll get up to the countdown. We'll count out 2025. The big ball will drop in New York City. 2026 will be off and running. And then what a day on Thursday. All three of the other big games, including Alabama, is on Thursday. That'll start with Oregon playing in Miami at 11 o'clock our time. Oregon, that's kind of a big challenge for a Pacific team. I guess they're probably going to get to Florida early so they can get acclimated. But that's the equivalent of an 8 o'clock kickoff out in Eugene, Oregon. So the big ask for them, they'll play Texas Tech at 11 o'clock. Then Alabama in the granddaddy of them all, Pasadena, California, the Rose Bowl, and they will play the number one team in the country. And it seems we think that the days are confusing. They're playing the number one team in the country, the second losingest program in the history of college football, the Indiana Hoosiers. Everything's upside down.
You know, it's like you woke up in the Twilight Zone. Yeah. Indiana quarterback, won the Heisman. Indiana, one of the most losingest programs in the history of college football, is a touchdown favorite
undefeated,
over the mighty Crimson
number one
Tide.
in the country. Yeah, 7-point favorite over Alabama. I mean, who had ever thought that?
We're in the Twilight Zone.
It's bizarre. And then, of course, on New Year's night, the Georgia Bulldogs will be playing in New Orleans against Ole Miss, two SEC teams, which that kind of is lousy because that eliminates one of the SEC teams. I know your podcast partner, the Bama Hater, otherwise known as JK, was saying, and the SEC will be down to just one team, after that. And, if Alabama can win, they'll still have two. But, he fails to mention that it's an SEC team that's going to knock out another SEC team there, which has already happened with Alabama eliminating Oklahoma.
Yeah, it seems like they set that up pretty well, didn't they?
Yeah, that's, I'm sure, just a happy accident.
Hey, we got Richard online. We see you, Richard.
Yeah, Richard, we're going to get to you. We got a hard break here at the bottom of the hour for news. But, Richard, stay right where you are. We're going to get you on right as we come out of the break. Kip Keefer and the Legend filling in for Valerie and Richard on this Monday morning. I had to catch myself again.
Catch it, Kip. Catch it.
But we're going to have a lot to talk about. Talk some more about Birmingham and what we need to do here. And welcome all the folks coming in for the Birmingham Bowl this afternoon, which was a great opportunity for Birmingham. This is the only bowl game of the day, so another reason Auburn should have showcased their program.
Could you imagine Auburn UAB today?
That would have been fun. We'll be back in just a minute. Kip Keefer on a Monday morning on Talk 99.5. Love it. Steve getting me pumped up here.
Man, I love his playlist.
Steve always does a great job on that in the transitions. Speaking of transitions, we have a legendary caller for Mia and the Legend this morning, because this guy has been just a ever-present personality on our shows that Terry and I had for a lot of years in this studio. And every time I come on, he always seems to know, because Richard the Cop is a Hall of Fame caller in our circles. And Richard, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. It is always outstanding to hear your voice.
Merry Christmas, my brother. Nice to meet you, Brother Legend.
Nice to meet you,
I'm going to
brother.
rant just for a minute.
Please.
It's going to be a good rant. Our country just came out of 4 of the worst years God ever created and allowed to happen.
Oh, no kidding.
President Trump was reelected by a landslide. In the last 12 months, he has made so many financial inroads. He has made America first 100%. And it's been a rebuilding process. This was just the beginning. 2026 is going to be the year of resurgence. If you woke up in this country today in a warm bed with a roof over your head, food in your stomach, your bills paid, your health, and a job to go to, you have nothing to complain about. Put your head down, keep your butt up, shut up, and do your job. Now, you always got to have a backup plan. November the 18th, the company I worked for in Birmingham laid 18 of us off in one day.
Oh, man.
I've been an Uber Lyft driver 8.5 years. You know what I did, Kip? I told the wife, put me on your Blue Cross at work tomorrow. I'll get you the paperwork. And I'm getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning like usual, and I'm going to Uber 12 hours a day.
Wow, Rick.
And I worked every day except Thanksgiving and Christmas and made 5 times in a month what I would have made at my day job.
Wow, isn't that something? I mean,
You can do anything you put your mind to. You just have to be willing. And like John Wayne said in The Shootist, it's not a question if a person will pull the trigger and do what they're supposed to do. It's a question of if they're willing. And most men aren't willing, but I am.
well, that's just an unbelievable testimony. Legend, I'm in awe of sitting with listening to Richard and sitting across from you, because you guys have a lot of similarities, and so I'm glad you get to communicate with Richard, because I think you could tell from there why we think so highly of him.
You know, I was thinking about when
Yeah.
Richard was saying that, a thought and a comment that I had heard, that sometimes you have to kick at the darkness until it bleeds sunlight. And it sounds like Richard kicked at the darkness until that sunlight broke through. Am I right, Richard?
Brother Legend, I stomped its brains out, and I'm still walking over it.
And that's what I'm talking about, brother.
Yeah, Richard.
You know, my
Go ahead.
whole career has been be reliable, resourceful, and unrelenting at whatever task you are given. I have a 3-tier goal every day of my earnings out here. I have a minimum, I have a medium, and I have a maximum. And 9 days out of 10, I'll get somewhere between that minimum and that medium, if not over. You have to put your head down. You have to do it. You know, Birmingham's a dangerous place, especially in the rideshare business. But you have to know where you'll go, know when you'll go, when you won't go. You have to be aware of everybody around you. And it's just like being in a police car. I see all these bad spots in Birmingham. Birmingham has so many abandoned, boarded up businesses and areas that are dying. Midfield, Aaron Arundel Drive is a ghost town. Eastlake is a ghost town.
Yep, definitely.
Inslee is a ghost town. So I don't know what we've got to do, because the government we got in Birmingham is not getting the job done, and it's been 40 to 50 years of that. I live north of Birmingham in one of those smaller towns between Birmingham and Warrior, and we have 95% of everything you would need within 3 miles of where I live. And the other 5% I can go to Hoover and get. Mm-hmm. If I come into Birmingham, it's to work. There's one restaurant me and the wife will eat at in Birmingham because it does not have predatory parking. Bob's Restaurant down by the post office. Excellent food, good service, good old-fashioned stuff. And the rest of it, I just let go. Also, if you are familiar with Sammy's Sandwich Shop, if you're the listeners, I'm not sure which one of those folks that run that's been there forever has been sick for the last month, and they have been closed because of it. So we need some prayer warriors up. I'll say this and I'll hang up. God bless our country. God bless my president. God bless the University of Alabama, and Roll Tide, and y'all have a good day, boys. Good to hear you, Kip, and tell Miss Terry I love her and I miss her.
Oh, Miss Terry, always. I told her we were doing the show this week. We're going to hear from her later on, so if you're out and about, I hope you'll stay tuned in and give us a call back when Terry comes on, because she would love to talk to you.
I'm out here until dark tonight.
Man,
yep,
I'll tell you what. And folks don't realize Richard has such a distinguished career in law enforcement. You are a great American, sir, and I am honored you're part of our show and have been since day one.
Well, Kip, I was in Oklahoma 10 years, and it was a growing experience. It was an experience of independence. I was a domestic violence investigator out there for the state 10 years for DHS, for their version of DHR for child welfare. And I've seen too much. I can't cut it off. I notice stuff that other people just ride right by. But the thing of it is, I know where we've been, and I know where we can go. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of getting the proper people in the right place, and we've started at the top. And I support J.D. Vance for president. He needs to pick a good running mate in 28 because he's learning at the knee of the greatest.
Yep.
Roll Tide, boys. Have a good day.
All right.
Roll Tide. Great
Roll
call.
Tide.
Great call.
Yeah, Richard the Cop always brings it, has been one of our great callers for many, many years. If you want to get involved, 205-545-9950. Kip Keefer and the legend from the Paul Feinbaum Show holding down the fort this morning. Steve West running the program, which is a good thing because you and I couldn't be trusted with that task. But we can make a lot of noise here this morning and have great callers like Richard. What a great way to start us off.
Yeah, we got Bill from Atlanta when you want to go to him. He's always see you, Bill, so just hold on right there.
Yeah, let's grab Bill right now before the break.
All right.
Bill, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Kiefer. Bill Carson here.
Hey, Billy.
Way back.
Wow. I mean, you're talking about way back. When I moved to Atlanta in 1966.
Wow.
With my family, one of the first guys I met was this gentleman on the line now. And you talk about great careers doing what you love. Bill has parlayed his love of fishing into a great career. He is a legendary character as well. What a great way to start the show.
Dude, it's awesome. Whenever I saw that you were on there, I'm like, I got to call in. I got to listen to the show, even though we're over in Georgia and Georgia territory. All my money went to the Dogs.
That's right.
My kids went there, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who's playing. I love watching college football and hearing you talk about it. So your knowledge is second to none, and love the show. It's awesome.
Well, you knew I was full of it when you met me in the fourth grade. It didn't take long to establish the fact that I had a lot to say, and man, it's awesome that you've gotten in touch. So tell us about your family, your kids, what's going on in the Carson clan.
Well, dude, we're impatiently waiting for Wednesday to watch the Dogs play.
Yep.
Thursday.
Thursday, yeah.
Wednesday.
Isn't this crazy with this midweek stuff?
It is crazy with the midweek stuff, absolutely. But we're about to kick off the season. You mentioned the fishing thing, and one of the things that I do, the main thing I do right now as a part-time person, is I manage youth fishing, which is college. And Alabama is an incredible supporter, the entire state and most of the cities, of fishing, because it is the greatest sport in the world as far as I'm concerned. But watching these college kids, there will be 250 boats in every one of the 6 events that are coming up, and they're all through BASS, which is right there in Birmingham. And their support and love for fishing and the next generation of fishing is definitely unparalleled. We see kids traveling from the West Coast all the way to the East Coast or the Midwest, towing a boat to be able to fish in a tournament. And it is amazing to watch.
Well, it's just fantastic. This a gentleman is humble. He has done great things and has had a tremendous career doing what he loves. And I was talking to our mutual friend from way back when, Jim Hevern, who's been my lifelong best friend, and we always mention your name as a guy that kind of pursued his passion and parlayed it into a great career. So you are a guy that we really admire, and it's just so great you got in touch with us this morning. Legend, are you a fisherman?
I was when I was a kid. Me and my father went to Smith Lake one day, and we caught over 100. What do they call it? Crappie.
Oh, crappie!
Yeah, with cane poles and minnows. I remember that.
Oh,
One of the
wow,
greatest
how about
days
that?
ever with my dad. I remember I put my cane pole on his side of the boat, and he said, "Get your cane pole on your side, boy."
Oh, that's hilarious. Well, Bill, if you make it over to Birmingham or Alabama or whatever, a couple guys here want to buy you a steak dinner or maybe a filet of fish sandwich.
Filet of fish sandwich.
Yeah, it's been so glad that you got in touch, and what a great flashback. Fantastic guy. Thanks for getting in touch. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Bill Carson, how about that?
How about that?
That's why you love talk radio, because you don't know who's going to listen, but we'll put the word out there that we're on the air, and that's one of the first guys I met when we moved to Atlanta and made that transition for a young man from Metro Washington, D.C., moving to the unknown South, 8 or 9 years old. Unbelievable experience. So great to hear from him this morning. We're going to step away for another short break, and when we come back, we'll take you up to the top of the first hour as we roll on. It is Legend from the Paul Feinbaum Show, and Kip Kiefer filling in for Valerie and Richard today, having a much-deserved day off. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Give us a call, 205-545-9950.
I got to get his playlist.
Steve spinning the hits, Fire on the Mountain, and we're on top of the mountain today.
Yeah, do no better
on
than
99.5 on top of Red Mountain. Kip Kiefer, the legend from the Paul Feinbaum Show, filling in for Valerie and Richard, and the calls are coming in. People are up this time of day. Who knew?
Man, I didn't know because I usually don't get up before 9.
I'm
I'm on Kip
telling you.
Kiefer time. So I didn't know so many folks were up this time in the morning.
Well, let's see what Mr. Ashley's up to down in T-Town. Another great caller. Mr. Ashley, good morning.
Hey, good morning. How's everybody doing this morning?
Hey, we're doing great. We're finding out that life comes to a start this time of day.
Oh, shucks, yeah. I just got off second shift about an hour and a half ago, and I've been up all night. I had to go in on Sunday evening.
Oh, good grief.
And work. So, they're all about production this time of year. They're getting ready for the new year, so you gotta push it, take it to the limit. I was whistling that song tonight, Take It to the Limit.
Take It
That
to
old
the Limit.
70s song. Y'all remember that one, don't you? Yeah, I was whistling that one. I was whistling that one while I was at work. That and Rubber Band Man, if y'all remember that one.
Oh,
too.
yeah, the Rubber Band Man. Sure.
That's a good toe tapper. But, no, I was looking forward to this coming year and was thinking about all my many blessings and how thankful I am to be a part of such a wonderful organization. I had 15 wonderful years working at the University of Alabama. Got to rub elbows with some great people there at the university. Got to lock and unlock the stadium for 12 of those years while Saban was coach, and really enjoyed myself there. Got a chance to receive a lot of great blessings from a lot of special people, and I'm just very grateful and thankful for that. Looking forward to this new year. With this new job that I have now, it's a bit of a sacrifice, but at the same time, we take so much for granted, and I'm just very thankful right now for the opportunity I've had, all the blessings the good Lord's given me, and this wonderful country we live in. I was thinking to myself just yesterday about how wonderful it is that there's people in some other countries that don't have the rights and privileges that we have to choose a job, to go to each and every day, and to make and to have the freedom to make the sacrifices that we're allowed to make. Some people don't have those kind of freedoms, and I'm just very grateful and thankful to the good Lord to enable me to do that. And I think we as Americans need to be very grateful and thankful for all the many blessings we do have. We hear all the time about all these hurtful and hateful things that people talk about when it comes to politics, but we very seldom hear people talk about the rich blessings that we have and that we enjoy, especially this time of year with Christ's birthday, and when we start thinking about the year to come and all the wonderful people that we've experienced over those years, our parents and our grandparents, and you talking about going fishing with your grandfather. I did the exact same thing. I was trot lining. I had to hold the old chicken guts, to put it on the old trot line back in the day. But I know how it is. And listen, it's wonderful talking to y'all this morning. I don't have much more to contribute other than the fact that I'm just very grateful and thankful and looking forward to a wonderful 2026. And Legend, I'm looking forward to great things coming from you, my friend, because I know that you're a star in the making, and it'll just be a matter of time before you hit it big, if you hadn't already.
Well, thank you, Mr. Ashley, and you've been a great supporter of mine and Kip, and we appreciate you so much, brother. You are a great American.
Well, man, I appreciate that, and I strive to be, and I love this show, and I love y'all, and I hope y'all have a wonderful day today. Y'all be blessed. We'll talk at you later.
Well, we are already blessed for you getting in touch with us, Ashley, so appreciate you, and roll tide, and let's see what I hope on behalf of SEC fans everywhere. I am the biggest Alabama fan this week because I want Indiana to go down. I don't want to live in a world where Indiana's got the Coach of the Year and the Heisman Trophy winner and are the number one team. So roll tide.
Absolutely.
Roll tide.
Absolutely. Could you imagine this year starting with an Alabama loss? That wouldn't be right, man. We're talking about how great 2026 is going to be. So Man, all the SEC is dependent on Alabama. We can't let them down.
The whole
We
free
cannot let you
world.
down.
I mean, democracy itself is dependent.
Is at stake.
Alabama's got to beat the evil scourge that's Indiana that has risen out of nowhere. The second losingest program in the history of college football.
It cannot be allowed. 100 years ago, Alabama went to the Rose Bowl on January 1st, 1926, and won their first championship. And 100 years later, they get to go back and bring an end to the evil empire known as the Big Ten.
Yeah, it changed everything. There are those kind of things that happen in sports and society that you never see coming, and that was everybody in the North looked down on Southern football, dismissed it as a joke, and Alabama goes by train. Imagine that was an enjoyable ride all the way across the country to Pasadena and wins the Rose Bowl. And
that wasn't Amtrak back then either, was
No,
it?
no, I don't think so. I think it was a little bit rougher ride, and you were worried about it flying off the track about every 15 feet. But anyway, that's that. I hope history repeats itself, because that kind of arrogance of what we call Yankee football is back, and it's about time to put them in their place.
Yeah, but it's Indiana. I mean, who would have thought that?
Oh, I know. Steve, it's like Bizarro land.
It is. Indiana going undefeated, I wouldn't have even thought about entering that on the bingo card, much less grabbing a bingo card and looking at it and going, yeah, I'll mark that.
Yeah, it's all upside down. Poor Legend's been talking to himself. He keeps looking at that. Alabama's a 7-point underdog to Indiana? What kind of world are we living in here?
And I keep thinking Bobby Knight's going to throw a chair at me at any moment. So Wimp Sanders back with the plaid jacket. It's got to be a basketball game, right? It's got to be a basketball game.
Oh, man, it's going to be interesting. We're going to have that to start 2026, and that's on Thursday. I still can't quite get my hands around that concept of Wednesday and Thursday being the big game days this week, but that's the case. We're working toward the top of the hour. We've got a whole bunch more. It's a couple of great calls to kind of get us started today.
Yeah,
Reg.
Dexter and Don on hold, so y'all just hold on.
Yeah, we will get to you guys as soon as we come out of the break. Not very long breaks here on 99.5, which is a good thing, because we were anxious to get back to the phone. Didn't want to short anybody on time. So Dexter, Don, you guys are up next. And Kip and the Legend will be back for hour number 2. The first hour flew by. We've got 3 more to go, so we're not going anywhere. The great Steve West is at the controls. Kip and the Legend back after this short timeout on Talk 99.5 Birmingham.